My name is Rex Johnston, OAM, Service to Bowls and Charity, that was granted back in the 90s. I'm the chairman of the New South Wales State Selection Committee. I've been the chairman for 1 year. This is my second year, although I did previous stint as chairman of the selectors back in the 90s, 2000s, and also an Australian chairman of selectors. Our selection committee is comprised of 8. We have Pam Hocking, Jenny Palmer and Gilly Bird are the three ladies on the committee. Peter Foster, Trevor Imer, Greg Harris, Clay Parker and myself, chairman. The Queensland Test come up first. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a rough ride for the boys and girls. The open side was the only side to win with a 2-1 win over the Queensland. So we really had to put our heads down, strike another side to play Victoria. We went to New South Wales again to play Victoria, and we had wins in the 3 divisions: the Opens, the Men's Opens, the Women's Senior, and the Men's Senior was a draw. So a great result against Victoria, which was one of the strongest states in Australia, of course. The Blue Ribbon event, the Australian Side Championships, was the last fixture on the calendar. And the Women Open side, they won a silver medal, defeating, I think it was Queensland in the last, so that they jumped over them, but still couldn't gain enough points to beat Victoria. So Victoria was the Open champion there, and we had silver medal. The men, they were magnificent. The Open side, going through basically undefeated. They were undefeated as overalls, only losing 1 rink. And that by 1 shot. So they won 20 rinks out of the 21. So a magnificent effort. We as a committee, we're very excited heading into the 2024 season, mainly because we did so well in 2023 that our aim now is to try and even do better. So a lot of our events will be coming under scrutiny. We will need to make changes, no doubt. Been very hard for states to back up in Australian Side Championships and win 2 in a row, but it can be done, and I'm sure we will have the boys and girls there to do that for us. We've had a couple of retirements from the state sides, and there's been some Queensland state players joining New South Wales clubs in this time, so they're going to put the boys on their toes, no doubt, but they'll have to perform to break into a very, very, very strong Open side. We're also excited to see the juniors coming through as what we can put into our under-25 sides. We're a little bit short on numbers in the under-25s, especially in the girls. So we'll be out looking for players to fill positions in both those sides. There is an under-25 competition coming up between a few zones, and selectors will attend that just to keep their eye on in case there's some new people popping in that we haven't seen before. The player pathway, well, there's several pathways for the different disciplines and different age groups that we've got. Basically, most of them, especially for the younger ones, they need to get into the pennant, first of all, try and get themselves into their zone pennant finals and get to the state pennant finals, and that's where we see you perform. So that's one of the pathway events, even for the senior players and for the Open players. The pennant, then to the zone championships, and then to the finals at state level. The state level pennant finals, we have selectors in the grade 1 and grade 2 attend, so that's one of our great ones. Representative bowls, you realise that most of our selections for all the sides we play are fours events, so it's team events. So we need to get you into as many team events you can and get your name thrown around that way. Make sure if you're selected in the zone, if it's in the seniors and the Open, you attend those zone games, because if you don't attend and a selector turns up and they find out that you haven't attended because of so-and-so, a tournament or something like that, it doesn't go down well for when we go through selections. So remember, always try. I remember I used to try like God to hell to get into a zone game. I'd nearly go out and kneecap someone to have a go. So I think that's the mentality you need to have. Try and force yourself into those areas. The state players, they need to play in those events and also make themselves available and play in the Interzone Sides Championships, which is one of our major pathway events. So you need to be selected. You need to play in all the levels down before that to get to that. And that's where the 8 selectors will attend, and they will see every bowler there at some stage. And that's where you need to show off. They're the ones you need to get to. State championships, definitely. They start early this year in March. I think we're down champion to champion. You've got club champion singles, and you've got club champion pairs. So you win your club championships, you then you're able to enter both the singles and pairs state finals. So they're one of the major events that we will have. We have 5 selectors in the metropolitan area. They're held in the metropolitan area. So those 5 selectors at some time will be getting around to watch all those. So that's a great time for anyone to show up just at the club championships stage. In March, hopefully March, and final will be into the selectors by April. We will have the expressions of interest process. This is for the state selection series. We will send them out if you wish to. We'll send them to the zones. So the zones or regions can then process them out to those players they think have a chance of making it. You can get them yourself. You can get them through myself. We can always send an expression of interest out to anyone that wishes it. We don't restrict that in any way possible, but you have to be realistic in regard to you are expression of interest for a state selection series, which pretty well you need to be performing very well. Your attitude is taken note by the selectors in regard to how you treat your team, how you perceive to have bad results come along, what fit of rage or what it is. Those sort of things are not the best attitude to be taking to selection events. So attitude is one of the main things. Commitment, again, you need to see you've been committing from the beginning through all those pathway events. So if you've gone through all those pathway events and you're now there at that final one, you have been committed, pretty well committed to achieve success. Teamwork, as I said, nearly all our selections are based on rinks of 4 or teams of 12, and one bad apple within a team can really affect our results. So attitude, commitment, personality, anything what you like, you need to be a team person. A team person will be accepted by the others, and you won't be ostracised on one side or the other side, or get bad remarks made by our selectors or some other people in general. So make sure when you're out in selection that you have attitude, you have commitment, and you are a team player.